So it means now, in a physical level, and physically, you cannot be one with the body. Physically, you cannot be different from the body. You are not different from the body because there is no me physically, remain existing separate from the body. So if you physically exist and separate from the body, so so then it's very, very difficult, So it's almost like many times if your body is your body is lazy, don't want to move, but you want to get something to eat. So then I leave my body here. I will go and find the food. So that's the kind of this thing, right? So it is not physically you and your body, you and your feeling, you and your thought, you and your eye consciousness, you and your air consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness. Not the one, not the different. So now what left? If physically not different, but you cannot say it is one. Is it conceptually is it separate? Like, conceptually separate, like your body and your size of the body. So, and then space and empty of the space. Head and the size of the head. And, the clothes and the colors of the clothes. So these are also, conceptually in the language, it is separate. So now that separate cannot be substantial. It's not physically. We're not talking about physically. The leaf in the color of the leaf is separate. Is not physically, right? So and then it's conceptual. So therefore we say conceptually distincted two separate phenomena. Right. So conceptually distincted two separate phenomena is their separations is the property. Private property of your language, private property of your thought. It always exists array to that particular, with relation to particular thought, with particular language. Other than that, there's no proof of their being separate. So language says it's separate. Your thought says it's separate. That is the only thing. So in this way, you and your body as separate is, conceptually constructed. So with the body, if you exist, and that is conceptually with the language, is language has created. And that is the real to that language. Other than that, there is no any sign or any proof. For example, if you want to see with your eye and me in my body, if you want to see with eye, you cannot see. They're two separate things. If you want to touch with hand, I want to touch you and not body. Or I want to touch body, not you. And then, and the tactile, the sensations, there is no proof you exist as a separate from the body. So the only things can be understood is with language. And then it says that in the language, you and your body is separate. And then it says how the language knows that. How language knows there is me separate from the body. Language is no knowledge. Language is also the creation from the letters. Each of the letters has no potential, no capable of making anything existing. So the you and your body as separate is, conceptually, you conceptually construct that read, express through the languages. So language says, I'm just mimicking what you have imagined. I don't create any object. It's like I'm the tape recorder. I reads what's in the picture in your mind. So then finally, your existing as a separate from the body is, mental, the abstract. So if the existing of the I am is the nothing but the abstract. So yeah, this kind of contemplation again and again, Now through the contemplations generating the wisdoms, that wisdom has the potential to undermine, to reduce the intensity of the afflictive emotions. So you need both single pointed meditations and analytical meditations, contemplations. So the analytical meditation and single pointed meditations brings, the real wisdom.